Hi, welcome to Two Balls and a Mic. We are here on episode 128. We have a couple of teams here in San Diego that were allergic to a victory, with San Diego Loyal getting destroyed 5-0 by LA Galaxy Los Dos in the last meeting that they're ever going to have. We also had San Diego Wave losing 2-1 against another LA team, LA Las
Angel City.
Los Angeles. That was Los Angeles.
Los Angeles?
Los Angeles, yep. Then a 2-1 effort. We also have, the Padres. I don't even want to talk about the Padres because they got demolished 12-0 by the Giants.
12-0.
We're also going to go ahead and talk about a game that was happening right now. I didn't like that at all by you. You have the Liga MX that has started.
Yeah.
Your team, the Chivas. My team, Las Chivas. We'll talk about it. We had Liga MX Femenil also start with Christina Birkenroad getting herself a brace. Speaking of U.S. versus Mexico happening right now, qualifiers to the World Cup, and a couple of other stuff in between. And I think we have a guest who we missed, who looks a little different to you and I.
It's better. I like it.
He looks better. That's kind
I
of
love it.
Yeah, that face is absolutely correct.
Not
Alan,
that you didn't look.
how do you take that from Chiva over here, saying that you look better?
Look great.
I'll take that as a compliment.
Of course.
I mean, usually I would be like, "What? I was ugly before," but you know, I had to like cut off my hair because I went to New Orleans and it was hot there, so I didn't want to have long hair and a long beard. And I got my glasses back today, so bonus.
Tip Top Magoo, getting ready for another exciting.
Tip Top what?
Tip Top Magoo. You never heard that?
Yeah, I have.
Alan's heard that before. No. All right.
I think you've said it before.
You are looking Tip Top Magoo, coming back to California to sane weather, insane rent, and insane taxes and everything. But there's a reason we live here in San Diego. But glad you enjoyed your time in New Orleans, because let me tell you, it was not a happy scene. You also didn't go to Torero. Alan didn't.
What was that? Home duties to watch the Wave game as well.
You were on assignment for the San Diego Wave game, so good on you. Talking to Casey Stoney, so we have some audio from that as well. But 5-0. Let's just get it. It's just boom, 5-0. 5-0. I texted at 4-0. Is this the worst result for San Diego Loyal?
Oh, for sure.
And we kind of, I guess, agreed, just, by default. And then a fifth one came in. But overall, in general, it was...
Let's start with the lineup for this game, right?
I mean...
Might as well.
Let's give it the respect that we have here.
Because this was in line to be...
look at that lineup, guys.
This was in line to be a really entertaining game based on how everything went the last time they played in L.A., right? They ended up tying 2-2 with a lot of refereeing controversy towards the end. And you were kind of hoping that wouldn't happen in this game. Yeah. But let's start with this.
Yeah, so it's been a pretty much 10, 12 minutes of poor refereeing when it comes to San Diego Loyal versus LA Galaxy Los Dos, because it's going back to the last game that they played. But yes, here's the lineup: Coque Vegas, Elijah Martin, Kyle Adams, Boxel, Moon. So you have the Kiwis in the back with Moon as well. Charlie Adams, Colin Martin, Blake, who has been playing really well, Guido playing really well, Moshe Bani, and Amang up top. I was really excited to see this.
By the way, the last time Adams and Boxel started, I don't believe San Diego did that well either, with both of them at center back. Other than that, it's the same lineup that they've been consistently having over the last couple of weeks, where Nick Moon is playing more of on his left wing position. Blake is playing more of a right wing back in a way, but they're essentially playing without a right back, which is leaving a lot of holes on that right side, which comes to see in that penalty the ref called. That's kind of how that opening started. So if we want to pull up to the main highlight of the game, which was in the first 10 minutes.
What did you think about this lineup, Alan? If you see it, when you saw it, obviously what ended up happening, as you're alluding to, you couldn't have predicted was going to happen. But, going into it, I felt pretty good about this game.
Yeah, the way that Kyle Adams has been kind of anchoring that back line with Stoneman and kind of like a three-man back with Elijah Martin, you had to be hopeful that Adams would continue to play well. And you have you're missing Stoneman. Vassell's still out for red card. Both of them for red cards. It's crazy how many red cards there's been. But I think based on who they had available, you like this lineup. You thought they were going to be competitive. Los Dos is, no pushover. But you had to feel good going into this game that you had a solid enough back line to keep Preston Judd down. And then you still had some really good attacking pieces to go forward. Yeah. Even the first, 10 minutes of the game, I thought Loyal looked pretty good. They were, doing what they needed to do. Then they just got a little bit undone in the back, and then, all hell breaks loose.
All hell did break loose because I was talking with everybody. There was a cool flyover. I don't know. I believe by the Coast Guard that our buddy Russ, who usually is at the sidelines and handles all the veteran and military affairs with San Diego Loyal, who does a great job with that. It was Military Appreciation Night. There was a game afterwards, but yeah, no, there was good energy. Andrew Vasiliades caught up with me and asked me, hey, how do you think this game is going? I'm like, honestly, I think we got a good shot. I think we have a good shot. This is a lineup that we have, and I think overall it was panning out to be a good time at Torero. I'm hesitating with these highlights because they're painful. We also had a star intern. I don't know if our buddy Josh. I don't know if you noticed that, Alan, but we had a mini baller. Let's call him a baller because he plays himself. So you like that, didn't you?
Alan won't like him too much because he's a fellow Man United supporter.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But no, it was trying time. So
we're out here serving the community, guys. We're out here serving the community. I think you're looking for the poor highlights of this game.
The low lights.
Not Las Vegas lights. What are you looking for?
I don't know, dude.
Los Dos.
I'm pretty lost in the sauce right now.
But anyway, so this game starts out, and it's not going bad the first 10 minutes, a little back and forth. And then the big play happens. Is this the first highlight they pull up? Or?
I don't know if it's the first highlight. It was pretty early. To say something about these referees, they were very talky and they were very jittery. I like to get that ramp when they start going in, and the referees lead it. And so even then, like in the vlog, they're like talking with some of the operations people and like, which way do I face for the national anthem, this way or that way? Like they just look lost.
Inexperienced.
Not even an experience. Like, I don't know if you know this, Alan, but usually they'll have the communication earpieces. Mm-hmm. Did you know that they didn't have that, Alan?
Oh.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so they did not have the earpieces that typically referees in the USL and pretty much that are standard at this point. From what I understood post-game, from what some of the important players in the club were saying, by players I mean like front office people and stuff, maybe USL didn't ship them. The ones that were there didn't work. But for sure, guaranteed, there were no earpieces with these referees. And so a referee that is refereeing his second professional game in 3 years, you throw him in an important match, you throw them without any earpieces. You can even see the call was delayed of what we're talking about, but I don't know. Let's see if it's the first highlight because it was easy. But I mean, you're hearing this for the first time, Alan. Like, what do you think of that?
That's the first highlight.
It is the first highlight.
Yeah, it's upsetting to think like that they didn't have a way of communicating effectively with each other. This is what I mean. It's like the goal line situation where you can't call something that you aren't 100% sure you saw, and Brew agrees.
Yes,
and in a controversial call like that, like you have to be certain you saw what you saw, and he's in a decent position, right?
Yeah,
like he's where he's supposed to be.
Yeah,
the ball comes across. He has a clear, unimpeded. Yeah, the dude had his hand up. Brew, we're talking here. Thank you.
Expectations.
He has his. Kyle Adams does have his arm up, but it's like there's no evidence that it hits his arm. If it hits his arm's going to bend back. There are a lot of things that
That's
you would normally observe in a handball situation that just did not happen. And then to pull out a red, you have to be certain that he did it on purpose. And like, I mean, the guy's in the right spot to make that call, and then he just makes the wrong call.
We're gonna slow this down, right, and watch it in slow motion, Tony.
Let's open up the two balls and a mic technologically advanced YouTube slower downer.
Slower downer. By the way, open space on that right back side position gets the cross in. You have a natural right back playing over there, and maybe there's no space for that cross. That's a whole different topic,
Are you
right?
calling for the return of one Jack Metcalf? Chiva,
No, because
backpedaling?
it's been working out. It has been working out. They've been playing great with the formation that they've been having, and it's been working out. But here comes, let's slow it down. Let's watch it. Allen says if the ball hits his arm, the arm would have moved.
All right.
It looked like it might have hit Adam's armpit.
We'll see. So first, Kokevega with a
Phenomenal save.
amazing save. Like that's from my angle. I thought that was a double save, but here it comes. Here comes the ball, gets kicked, hasn't hit just yet.
Yeah, it hasn't.
There. So right there, the ball makes contact with Adams, whose momentum is taking him over to his left, from where we're seeing from where he is. Our viewers right. Hits the ball, bounces behind him at that point. So the ball definitely got slowed down after the impact. So if it hits there, for him to be moving in one direction at a pretty speedy pace, and for the ball to hit his side as his body's moving upwards, the ball should have ricocheted out. But instead, the ball bounces down and behind him.
Which is why I'm thinking maybe hit him right here. Is the armpit, is that a handball?
No.
No,
All the way
right?
down to the sleeve. You're allowed to, like, the ball is allowed to hit you all the way down to the sleeve. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's to the end of the
armpit.
sleeve. So the ball would have had to go pretty far out in order to get, like, if the ball hits here, it's still not a handball. If the ball hits here, it's still not a handball. You have to get pretty far out to get
Yeah.
to that ball to hit your actual arm.
Or like in the
order
bicep
for-
area? Bicep area,
like-
that's...
Like, you have to get pretty. That's the thing. It's like he had to get pretty far. We're like Zapruder filming this, but like in the IFAB rule book, it says to the end of the sleeve, right? This is where we have. If you're a fan of the Premier League, you've seen these terrible offside calls where it's like they're drawing the line from the sleeve, and it's like, well, this sleeve's in here, but I'm going to drive it from this sleeve down, this part of the sleeve down, and that's going to be offside. So it's pretty preposterous to think that the ball hit like way out here. Like it has to hit pretty far out to get any part of the arm
Yeah.
down below the sleeve.
No, they call the penalty, fine. It's part of the game. But the decision after to give a straight red. Alan, forgive me. Can you correct me if I'm wrong? There's no double jeopardy rule, right? Or there's a, like, you can't give the penalty and then the red card?
Clearly, we have learned that is not true based on, that's why, like
Like, it would have to be 100% certain that it's intentional, right? That it was, like your favorite word to use, deliberately, to stop the goal. But that's not the case, right?
Yeah, like if the ball's going in and you like swing to punch it out, like you're gonna get a red card.
Yeah.
But I would have a hard time to argue that this was an intentional handball. Like, if anything, he's trying to move his arm away from the ball, not toward the ball. But the referee's seeing him moving his arm out, so he's like, "Oh, that's intentional," and it's like, yeah. It's one of those. Most of the time, you're gonna get like, you don't want to see double jeopardy. Like, and usually it's if the player's making a legitimate play on the ball, and he fouls the guy, you can't give him a red card and a penalty kick. In this case, the referee judged that it was probably, what he's saying is the denial of a goal scoring opportunity. And if you're deliberately playing the ball to deny an obvious goal scoring opportunity, that's a red card. like I just have a terribly tough time seeing that as an intentional play on the ball.
He has the
He had
yellow
a yellow
out.
out too.
What
Like,
what
Yeah.
if he did take out the yellow first, and then with this complaining and just how he was yelling at the ref, he just gave him the second one and then gave no, it's a straight.
It's a straight red.
He gave a straight red, right?
What I think happened is he has his yellow card and his red card together.
Mm-hmm. So he had to
that's why you
take
never
both
do
out.
that. I have
I miss when they would
here
put the
from
red
back.
card from
Yeah,
the back and
because
then
that
the yellow
takes more
cards up here.
effort. Like it's
Yeah.
more like nah.
You can
made
tell.
me
You
go-
can tell this ref was not like it was his third professional game, second professional game in 3 years.
He
You
wasn't
said.
prepped. Yeah, he wasn't prepped. I mean, it's a tough call, right? And
Is it though?
it takes a while to actually call this a penalty. It's not immediate where you would. If he touches with the hand, then by the time the ball leaves or before it's hit again, rematada, like you should make that call. But then Koke almost, talked to him after. He was like, man, like I got it right, la acerté, but it was just well placed. It was a really well placed ball.
He shot it great. When did he sub Camden Riley in? After the second goal?
Yes.
So it was after the second goal that he subbed
Yes.
Riley in.
Correct.
So here's my thing, and this is what Landon and Charlie Adams kept saying in the press conference. If you haven't watched Tony's blog, go watch that. It was actually one of the best blogs we had in a while. They kept saying that they were, even if they were down a man, they were gonna keep playing their style and they were gonna keep attacking, and that's what that's where I think Landon messed up. Because yes, you want to keep that philosophy, you want to play your game, but when something drastic like this happens, everything changes, and you have to suck it up and say, okay, we're not gonna be able to play how we want to. We have to adapt to this game in order to maybe try to get a point. And just yes, you might have to play a very boring game, but because you didn't do that, you ended up losing 5-0. And if you rather lose 5-0, then maybe try to play a little more conservative and maybe tie it up and then just play conservative and get that point, then so be it. I would rather try to get the point and just play a little more conservative. I think that the lack of experience that Landon has as a coach ended up biting San Diego Loyal in the ass this game. And it was his stubbornness of saying, I want to change the game. I want to keep playing how I want to play and not adapting to a situation like this. He made the sub after the second goal. He tried to hang on like 10 more minutes and then realize, okay, no, I need to put someone else back there because this isn't going to work. And it still didn't end up working.
Beyond a handball, the straight red was BS. A yellow is valid with a verbal warning to Adams to keep your arms inside, which is also true. Like, again, we've talked about this a couple of times. Like you mentioned, Alan, like human beings have arms. They have to put them somewhere. Yes, but again, you're trained as a center back defender to keep your arms together at all times to avoid murky waters like these, like a gray area where it's like, did he, didn't he? I think we all agree that the card, the red, the color was just wrong. There's honestly, like, if you can justify it, but
yes, it was wrong.
it's a
But do you guys
stretch.
think Landon did a good job managing the game after?
No, absolutely not. That's not where we're at. 'Cause there's still more, but yes, I agree with you. Like, Alan,
I think also, like, looking at the way Koke Vegas reacted to the second goal, like clearly they were still pretty upset and they were not mentally engaging in the game maybe in the healthiest way, um, which is fair, right? Like you got a call that went against you, and very quickly they went down the pitch and got a goal. So like less than 10 minutes later. So we've seen this. You see this time and time again with professional athletes and human beings in general, right? Something goes wrong, and then you're flustered. You're not mentally in the game. You're angry. You're not focused. And this Los Dos team playing essentially against one center back and one like wing back. And that center back hasn't been starting consistently for your team. Like I was almost like, as soon as they got that second goal, I was like, all right, I don't think they're coming back from this. Like this isn't Colorado Springs where you still have one of your starting center backs on the pitch you're still dealing with, you're still having close to your starting 11, and it's only a couple minutes. This is 80 minutes of a game where you're playing a man down, and you feel like you've been slighted. And so it just didn't seem like the team really rallied or pulled themselves back. And they might have felt like they were fighting. It just didn't seem like they were making great choices. And then on the other side, it was, Los Dos just kind of outplayed them, right? San Diego had a couple of good shots, and, good for them. And they had 17 shots, but only a couple on target. And then, this happens where you're throwing everyone forward trying to get that goal back. And then you have like who on the back line? Elijah Martin, and then two guys that we've seen don't really have the speed.
Yeah.
Right. Boxel doesn't have that recovery speed. And we see it in this goal. We see it in the next goal. He just doesn't have the recovery speed that maybe Elijah Martin has. And, and Cam Riley, bless his heart, I think he's a fantastic person and a great dude. But again, there's a reason why he's not starting on this team. Like these are your backup guys. These are the guys who are going to give you a good 10, 15 minutes to close out a game. They're not there to be the only center backs when your team is going full force down a man.
But there's no one else, right?
Right, there isn't. And so, this is one of those instances where, I want to say a couple poor decisions. It was a borderline weird handball against Stoneman that gets him a second yellow. This is a red that shouldn't have been a red. And now your two starting center backs are out. And you do the best you can, but Los Dos is quick. And we saw this, several times where Boxel, if things are in front of him, he does all right, but he doesn't have the recovery speed that he probably needs to keep up with a guy like Preston Judd. And I'm not sure a ton of center backs in the league do to begin with.
Yeah.
But if he did, he'd probably be, where Kyle Adams is, or he'd be where Elijah Martin is. So I think this is a combination of a bunch of things that just happen to go not San Diego's way. I wasn't super thrilled with how they were playing in the back. I thought they were too open. They didn't recover fast enough. They didn't close down. They didn't rotate well. But again, you're dealing with guys who aren't getting those reps the way that maybe your starting center backs do. And maybe that's something to think about with depth going forward, is how do we get those guys in, or, you just realize that Los Dos just kind of played better and San Diego just didn't have it. And then things didn't go your way. And then you mentally folded for a couple minutes, and that put you behind the 8 ball. You tried to play aggressive, which is great. Good for them. But it leaves you open in the back. And this is what happens sometimes when you go aggressive, is teams can find those open spaces against 10 men and just destroy you. And that's what happened.
Now, would you guys have liked for him to go a little more conservative and just try to stay back like he said he didn't really want to? But it's understandable, right? And you maybe don't lose 5-0. Maybe you end up tying the game 1-1, and then you kind of have to park the bus for a while.
I was talking with the camera guys. One of the camera guys, el vato que trabajaba con la selección, he's like, meten el de la honra. And I'm like, yeah, they're gonna. It's 4-0. Like, la honra means, like, if you're getting annihilated 6-0, 5-0, do you score the 1, right?
Like Brazil against Germany.
Like Brazil against Germany. They scored the 1. It wasn't a 0. I don't know what is that in English?
Skunk. You don't get skunked.
You don't get skunked. Yeah, there's not a big donut. You don't get cleared. You don't get blanked.
It's like an honor.
You don't get no hit.
I mean, I think there's something to that. Like, they could have easily just rolled over and been like, all right, we're going to pack the box. We're going to lose 3-0. There is something to be said about, hey, we're getting the crap kicked out of us. Let's take this moment to really, like, go full bore and see what we can do. Because you're already going to lose. I mean, at 3-0, it seemed like they're already going to, I mean, unless a miracle happened, you know what I mean? Like, you're probably going to lose this game. So why don't you take this opportunity to work on, like, just trying to play from behind and try to get that goal, and try to, like, all right, we're down a man, down, like, let's just pretend we're down a man, down a goal, and let's go try and tie this up. You know what I mean? Like, there's things that you can do This isn't a playoff match, right? I think they got behind. They kind of mentally, I don't want to say mentally fell apart. That's not the right word, but they just kind of lost it.
Yeah.
And 3 goals go in. We've
lost the
seen this
plot.
before with our team, with other teams. And so I appreciate that they kind of kept going for it and kept trying to get a goal, because it's like, it's already lost. You're going to drop all 3 points. It doesn't matter if you win, or you're already going to lose the tiebreaker for them, right? Like, so the goal differential between us and Los Dos doesn't matter. You probably feel pretty decent about your goal differential in general, right? Like, we might do this to another team later.
Yeah.
So it's like,
hopefully.
right. It's like, just go for it. Like literally, what do you have to lose at that point? And you're playing at home. You want to give it all for your home fans. So I think if they like pack the bus and started like just play defense and punt it out, and Los Dos was just like peppering, and I think the home crowd gets upset, and the home crowd goes, this is dumb. I don't want to watch this. I think the fact that they keep trying, there's something commendable in it, I guess.
Yeah. Even that red card. That red card was almost as good as a goal in this case, because again, it was a red card though. But the crowd,
it wasn't a straight red. It wouldn't have been a straight red.
That's not my point.
The
point is that the crowd cheered. That was the happiest high point at Torero Stadium. Is my point. That it's the 84th minute they get a red card, and a lot. Look, I mean, for a San Diego Loyal type crowd, it's all right for what you're seeing at 5-0. And the players responded to that. They knew, and there's a big break between now and when they play Colorado Switchbacks. So I know Alejandro Guido was out there, Charlie Adams, some of the starters were out there the whole game. Sometimes we would have been like, why? Just save the legs, right? Which is what I think they were doing with Elijah when they subbed him off. But in any case, like, it's honorable. It's honorable the way that it happened. It still sucks. It sucks, absolutely. And I'm talking about the players themselves. Just the players. Not necessarily technical staff, nobody else. Just the players themselves. You know what? It happens. I wish it wouldn't have. But I really do think that it's unacceptable to lose 5-0. Like, that's just...
I see things differently when I'm watching this game, and I like to think that, okay, what is Landon and Nate thinking after this happens, right? And I would have liked to see 2 substitutions done right after they scored the first goal. You put it Metcalf and Camden Riley. The penalty. You take out Blakey, you put Metcalf, who's more defensive, and then you drop Camden Riley as center back, and then you take out either Amang or Toomey. Probably Toomey, and you keep Amang up there. And yes, you're going to be a little more defensive. You're going to try to play that counterattack. But I feel like it would have been more well-rounded, and it probably would have been, maybe a more boring game. But I think even then they could have probably still pulled off a tie, or maybe the win. But you probably wouldn't have gotten scored 5 times.
Yeah,
because you wouldn't have given up so much space in the back. So I wish I would have seen those 2 subs right after the penalty. Yes, it's gonna suck for players like Blake that didn't want to get out early, or Toomey, if you take him out early, they don't want to leave the game early. But it's sacrifices that you have to make as a coach.
It was a shitty game to be in for our guys. A really shitty game to be in.
I agree. Like, it was a shitty game altogether. Like, the decision itself was one that I eventually did discombobulate the entire match, the entire game. It just soured everybody. But yeah, I it's just not a pretty scoreline.
You good? Oh, you popped it on your hand. Oh, shoot.
All right, well,
yeah.
there's a little stress ball that got... See, this is what happens, Loyal. This is what... It just destroyed the stress ball and made a mess everywhere. I don't even know if this is... Yikes.
Where were you going with that?
Where was I going with that?
Yeah.
I was going to load up the actual Landon Donovan and Charlie Adams speak.
Oh, yeah. Which brings the point, like, how much is Landon getting fined for that?
I know that they'd rather get fined the club for that than the other stuff.
Ooh.
Let's see. Let's hear from Charlie first. Yeah, let's hear from the fine. Let's get it fined.
Let's get the fine out. What's up, guys?
Ready, right? Good. You guys ready? Coach, tough defeat. Just tell us about this match. What went through your mind here at the end, and just take us through it.
Well, wasn't the game? The game wasn't the same after 10 minutes, so the whole game changed. Certainly don't come into a game expecting to be down a man for 80 minutes. So trying to cope with that is challenging. Probably could have sat in our half and defended for 80 minutes, but it's not who we are.
That cost you 5 goals.
It's not our identity, and
You don't think so, Alan?
I mean, I can see both points, right? Like, if you're trying to build team identity, like he said it before, like they don't like to defend. So I'm not even sure if they tried to sit back and defend, they don't lose, by a couple goals. But I get where Chiva's coming from. Like sometimes you gotta play a different game when, especially early on, the situation tells you that you can't play an open game down a man against a team like Los Dos. So I think I understand where coach is coming from as far as trying to build a team identity and wanting to play attacking football. But I also understand, like, hey guys, like, what if this? I guess the point is, like, what if this is the first game of the playoffs, like, and you go down a man with 80 minutes left in the game?
Yeah.
So like, maybe this was the time to be like, all right, guys, we're gonna hunker down, we're gonna counterattack. We got Toomey, we got Among, we have outlets, we can do what we need to do. We just gotta defend like crazy and then punch back at them when we have the chance to punch back. Yeah. Like I think there's some validity in that too. But I mean, I'm not Landon Donovan. I'm not a professional coach, so I don't know if there's something there or not. But I don't disagree with Chiva. I also don't disagree. Like I understand where Landon Donovan's coming from, but that's his mentality. Yeah. So it's just like, hey, like you made a choice, you got killed for it. It's not saying that if they parked the bus, the ending would have been that much different. It could have been, but it also could have been a slaughter because Los Dos was fighting their way around the box to begin with. That set up the goal, the penalty in the first place.
Yeah.
A good point here is after this one. This is good too. Judd built himself a loyal fill-in on Saturday. Koke actually responded that way because he felt it was disrespectful, not for this, but because he was telling him this and some fans, and he found that to be very disrespectful. That's when he went out of his way to like, hey, like, fuck are you doing after the second goal? And then even then, when the referee came over and confronted, like, what are you doing, Koke? Koke was like, I was pretty nervous. I was like, I didn't know what to say. Just like I was trying to tell him in English, but like it wasn't coming out. That's why it took a while to argue with him. But overall, it was frustrating. But the other good point, and I don't know if you have a little bit more insight on this or have some thought. Will this red card be rescinded by the USL? Will it be reversed?
I mean, I think the video evidence is pretty clear that was not a handball. And even if you argue that it's a handball, I would have a hard time believing that they're going to call that an intentional handball or the denial of the goal scoring opportunity. I would challenge this. I know I think you get Stoney back and you get Vassell back against Colorado Springs, but the way that back line looked, you want Adams and Stoney on that pitch. Yeah. So like, I would like to think that the league, I like to think that you don't even have to challenge this, that the league looks at it and goes, hey, we made a mistake. Sorry. You got your guy back, which is no consolation for this game.
But you get to play in the next game, which is a big game.
Yeah, the Colorado Springs game to me is, I don't want to say it's a bigger game, but it's a very important game at this point, right?
It's a bigger game.
It's not like I wouldn't say it's a must win, but I think it's a very important game for the health of San Diego's, like, I don't say playoff chances at this point either, because they're pretty clearly kind of in that second pack. because some of the other teams below them are also not doing as hot right now. Sacramento drawing Oakland at home, right? So I think it's just a really important one for San Diego to like get back on the horse and say we are the best home team in the West, because they have the numbers to back some of that up. And they want to reestablish that dominance, and you want to do that with Stoney and with Adams on the back line because you're going to need them.
There was a banner that was taken out of the section, and this is referencing the fines that they would have incurred because of that. After talking with some people and some people that have to do with the deal with the actual fines and monetary wise, they did say that they are happy to pay for Landon's fine after what occurred on that post-match presser. Also, was there when Andrew Vasiliadis found out that they get fined for yellow cards? He did not know that, and he was informed. He was like,
What does the comment say? Hey, I don't know how the club is going to handle that fine. Sure as hell didn't like it when they saw it on a banner. I mean, think about it like this. I think the team, they prefer to pay a fine that is caused by your manager than a banner from a supporter section, right?
I guess, yeah.
Like, if you look at it like that, I mean, I would rather spend money on a fine made by someone that, like your boss, essentially.
You guys want to hear what set Landon Donovan off?
Sure.
That didn't sound convincing.
Not if it's muted on there.
Yes.
Objective standpoint, a tragic day for the laws of the game, but your team still came back and still fought, as you were saying. Charlie was talking about those fine details and how those just sway a match. What can you talk about the resilience about your team and what you saw?
Listen, I separate what actually happened in the game from the game getting ruined by the referee. So our guys did a really good job of continuing to compete and play the way we played. You know, they felt like they got cheated, right? And it's hard to deal with that as an athlete. I've been in those moments. When you feel that way, it's hard to stay present and just keep playing. And kept going. Certainly weren't perfect, but created a lot of chances and kept trying to keep our principles and keep playing. And so I'm really proud of the group for that. It was a shitty game to be in for our guys. A really shitty game to be in. And it's unfortunate, but hopefully we grew tonight. As weird as that sounds, you have to go through moments like this and realize that it's not easy. And tonight was not an easy night.
Well, the team on Twitter did not share that interview.
So are we really testing the 2 balls and a mic power? Because if it's not anywhere else and he does get fined, then it's, but if he doesn't get fined, I don't know.
I mean, they usually share it on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
They usually share.
I've heard Landon cuss on Twitter.
Yeah, me too. But they decided not to share this interview or this post-game conference, which is valid. But the words were spoken, and he said he dropped the F-bombs in a press conference, and you're going to get fined for that. There's no other way around it. I mean, Landon can afford the fine.
I mean, the club can afford the fine. They're fine.
Yeah. But yeah, strong words used by Landon Donovan. But again,
there was a child present. I took the intern who's and he's just there.
Congrats, Landon. You dropped F-bombs in front of a 16-year-old.
Yeah, we walked up the hill with Landon after, just because I wanted to give him that experience of walking one-on-one with Landon Donovan. But Landon was just venting, like, to me, and obviously he's next to him. I made him carry the
tripod.
The tripod.
You lazy piece of shit.
Hey, he's got to work for his hours, bro.
That hill's a workout.
It is. But yeah, so that was a sentiment from there. It was just the worst time at Torero. I've never had a worse time.
But like Landon said before, right? You kind of crumble this one up and you throw it and you worry about the next game, right? You don't sleep on it. You move on. And that's what they need to do because they have a very important game. They get a kind of a whole week rest as they have another game upcoming next Monday.
Next Monday, they play again against Colorado Switchbacks.
Yep.
Night and day, San Diego Loyal performance. Last time Colorado faced San Diego Loyal was in their brand new stadium away, and San Diego Loyal ended up winning that one in maybe surprising fashion. But that was, some of the best that we've seen this team play. Obviously, with some, players that were not red carded until later on in the game. But I don't know. Like I think this might be different. I think this. I don't know, man. Like,
what do you think? You think it's gonna like stay in their head and be like, oh man, we're gonna keep getting,
gonna live rent
we're
free?
gonna keep getting screwed over by the referee every
Because
time.
that could be a narrative that this team could take, right? And that's up to Nate and Landon to be able to take them through. Oh, by the way,
my theory about referees hating Landon is still kind of looking pretty true.
Well,
Ever since he walked on the field to yell at a ref, very validly.
Well, when the referee is from Phoenix and he's in Phoenix chat roulettes or I don't know, just video
saying,
phone
man,
calls.
Refs don't like USL refs do not like Landon Donovan just because that first season after he walked on the field, he just looked like he didn't care about the rules, and I mean he's changing the rules. He's changing them, and it's good because it's changing the mentality of the game, which is great. But I have a feeling refs don't like him. There's always going to be calls not going San Diego Loyal's way. Does that excuse playing like shit and losing 5-0 to Los Dos? No, it does not.
5-0 hurts.
So I'm gonna like devil's advocate this 5-0. Like I think if this was like a 2-1 loss where they fought really hard and ended up losing, it might be harder to move on than a 5-0. Like a 5-0 is just like, all right,
slash and burn.
You know what I mean? Like versus a 2-1 heartbreaker. You were down a man, you kept it tight, you ended up scoring a goal, but you weren't at the end. You gave everything you had, but you didn't have enough. Like I think maybe those are harder to get over. Like a 5-0, I think you just kind of like chalk it up and be like, well, they're gonna find those spots of good stuff. They're gonna find the spots to clean up. They have a slight advantage this time because Colorado plays on July the 15th on that Friday at home. So they're playing at home and then they're going to have to travel out and a quick turnaround for Monday. So that there might be a slight advantage there as well with San Diego not having to play till Monday. So there's some things in there that I think we can build some positivity out of. And you just hope the team, moves on, but also like realize that there's things that you can control and there's things that you can't, and referees are always things that you can't control. And so try to focus on those things you can control and then try to play the best game that you can possibly play on Monday, because you already can play pretty well against Colorado Springs. You proved it in their house. And so I think they're going to be hungry to try and come in and get something here. So you just got to control what you can control, play the game that you can play, try to play it as cleanly as possible. And, if hopefully there's not another red card, because that would be 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
But I think right now San Diego's still in a pretty decent spot. I think that win on the road against Colorado Springs was a huge boost. They're still in control of their destiny, and this is an opportunity to say this is where we practice our mental toughness. This is where we put this game behind us. We come back out and we rally and we play well. Now, if they come back out and play poorly again, or calls start not going their way at the beginning, I think that's where you're going to have to keep an eye on it. Like the first 15, 20 minutes, if things aren't going their way, are they able to keep their cool? Are they able to just a call goes bad, they just stand up and walk away? And I think maybe that's what they need to do, is just like go the opposite route instead of trying to like complain or throw their hands up if they don't get a call. It's just like, all right, I didn't get the call. Stand up, do it again.
I think Loyal needs a mental health break,
which they have a week
which
for.
they have a week for, which is great.
Well, what if the league is out to get San Diego Loyal after the whole thing that happened with Phoenix and they walked off? It made national news. Maybe some attention that the league maybe didn't want.
Zapruder filming, highlights, conspiracy theories of the USL. This is what you get. You don't get this in the USL show, Alan. or I don't know if you do. Like
I've seen years and years of terrible officiating and bad calls and bad red cards. I mean, this wasn't even this wasn't the only game this past weekend that had terrible calls in it.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's like, I don't think it's intentional. I wouldn't say incompetence is the right word. I just wouldn't chalk this up to referees being like intentionally like terrible to San Diego. I just think that they're just not doing so hot right now. They're just, I mean,
this is true. The part of me where it felt like it was unfair was when Toomey did a late tackle, missed the ball, and got a yellow, which I remember specifically, and I was like, wow, like that was called yellow. I put it on the thing too. Like there were some calls where it was like, all right, now you're just trying to call everything, and Loyal was committing more fouls than LA Galaxy. So they're trying to jockey the ball back. LA Galaxy's playing the game too of passing in the back and whatnot. But ultimately, that game is done for. It's only one game. It's not like they, lose any points. Not like they necessarily, move too further down on the table. Because again, as you were alluding to, like it's still not a bad place to be in. Right?
Hey, both the chavos that are in the chat, Sammy, Abel, can you guys teach a lot of the locals what culero means and to use that in the stadium?
Yeah.
Because bullshit sounds cool, but culero just sounds way better.
Culero.
By the way, it means asshole.
Asshole does actually hit the spot.
But it just sounds better in Spanish. Culero, culero. Like I mean, can you guys get on that? Practice it for Monday against Colorado Switchbacks. 619 Talker said they've been given more penalties this year than the last 2 years combined, though, which is true. Finally, and they've missed most of those.
They've also missed more penalties than the last 2 years combined, too. So there is that. Cavasel will come back. Stoneman, I believe,
yes, comes back.
So that's going to be two very important pieces to have in San Diego Loyal.
You know who's not coming back?
It's still not confirmed.
It's not confirmed.
It's not confirmed, and I think we broke the news to you earlier, Alan, that we have sources saying that Austin Guerrero is no longer in the club for San Diego Loyal.
And it's not a secret that Loyal
suck at telling people when players leave.
And I don't know if it's like whose job it is to do that or if they're supposed to if a player gets released, because it's not the first time a player maybe gets released and they just don't say shit about it.
Yeah, and this is, obviously from credible sources that, we're not necessarily firsthand getting this information, but what are your thoughts if that is a thing, Alan? AG1.
I mean, players can cancel their contract, so it's not even like it might not even be like a release. It might just be like a mutual agreement to cancel the contract. It didn't seem like he was going to get tons of starting minutes. That was pretty evident with the John Kempen loan, and then Koke getting pretty much all of the minutes. Guerrero, when he got some minutes, maybe not the best performances, but maybe that was situational as well. But a guy like Austin Guerrero wants to play, and he wasn't playing in San Diego. And so I think, maybe this is to the benefit of both the team and the player, is if a guy is unhappy on the team and he isn't getting the minutes he wants, like go try to get those minutes somewhere else. And maybe he has something lined up that hasn't been quite announced yet. And maybe he's found some place to land. And so that he's like, hey, I'm going to get a shot here. Can I get released from my contract? And I mean, he's still technically on the team roster website. So I don't know if there's like an effective date or they just haven't updated the website or, whatever. But this happens all the time. Guys just saying, hey, I'm not getting the minutes. I'm going to go somewhere else.
But at least a press release or something.
Well, I mean, it might not be official. It might be just be in the talks. It might be a decision that the player has already made and just hasn't come forth, and the cancellation of the contract might not have gone through or whatnot.
Even before previous players.
But again,
a club
it's
statement.
Not official.
The player's
just
not
yet.
with the club anymore.
I mean, I'm still waiting for ¿cómo se llamaba? Oh my God,
The kid from Xavier.
No. Oh, the kid from Xavier. He didn't get a release. Anything. The first goalkeeper. First one in
Fellinson?
No, he always reference him. I can't believe he's fading. No,
Anthony Siaja?
King. Was that his last name?
King. Who?
The goalkeeper.
From
It was
season Team 1?
Team 1. Fenlinson.
Oh, dude, I forgot his name.
Oh my God, Alan.
619 Soccer might know.
I know it.
I'm disappointed you don't know it's a goalkeeper.
I know. I'm still waiting for his release. He was Jamaican, I believe.
Oh, he was a loan from LAFC, right?
Was he?
I think so.
But yeah, just make a
Help me out,
release
chat.
statement, something. When players get released, those Sunday afternoon games, staring in the sun, doomed Austin. Again, like I get it, right? If you want to eventually get the minutes, like Alan said, like go for it. That you're well within your rights. If he wants to keep pursuing those minutes, I think he was fine in San Diego. Now the question is, do you keep the 15-year-old as a backup goalkeeper, or do you go for someone else?
16-year-old.
16-year-old. Oh, my bad.
No, I know. I checked
My bad.
because the intern was
Still
the
in
same
high
age,
school.
and he was like, I'm like, oh, that guy's your age, and he was like, no, he's not. That's a sir. That's a man. Yeah, no, he's not.
But do you keep him as a backup?
Yeah, so the reports are that the club actually really likes him. That he's actually really good, and why not put some stock in the future? And so that might have, brushed people the wrong way. So, yes, the Jamaican international. Oh my God, Amon King, no. Ahmad, no. What was his name?
I don't know. Maybe if you even look it up on Wikipedia, it probably might not even come
No,
out.
not this guy.
Amal Knight.
Amal Knight. Thank you, Amal Knight.
Good job, Alan.
Still waiting for Amal Knight's release statement from the club. So
69 Soccer, I'm disappointed you didn't know this, by the way.
yeah, disappointed. Shame on you.
Very upset at you for that
Yeah,
one.
he was announced on the same time as Cutest Lawal.
Cutest
Remember that guy.
Lawal, who scored the first goal against FC Dallas? Question mark. I think so. This
Yes.
Wasn't that at the Hain?
It was at the training center. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amal Knight. Yeah, officially not on loan, officially signed, and I think they sent him on loan somewhere because I think his positioning wasn't the best, but he was a tall dude, and
Yeah.
And modeled the first kit pretty well.
All right, gentlemen. Do we have a match prediction for the game against Colorado?
2-2.
That's not a bad result
Not a bad. I mean,
because you still get the tiebreaker over them.
you do.
Oof. Man, I'm going to go with another loss. I'm going to go with a 2-0.
Oh, we don't even get on the board again. That's 7 consecutive goals scored.
I
with no
really hope I'm
response.
wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, guys. But the way they played against Los Dos, I feel like it is going to psych them out a little bit. And hopefully they prove me wrong. And I'll admit, I'll be like, thank God I was wrong. But I 2-0 maybe. Especially if Boxall starts. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of him. Nick Duffy, I hate you for ever telling me that you thought Boxall was better than Yarrow.
Ooh, I love this. Papi Chavo said something but took it back. It's too
I'm-
hot for the stream.
I'm gonna go 3-1 Loyal.
With the win? Oh,
Colorado Springs has won 1 in their last 5 and have only scored 3 goals in those 5 games.
so they're bound to win a game. Maybe they win on Saturday and then they lose to Loyal on Monday. Because they could be tired. That is true. Didn't factor that in.
I'm sorry, 5 goals in those last 5 games. 3 against Sacramento, 2 against San Diego. But they were shut out. San Antonio shut them out. Hartford shut them out. And El Paso Locomotive shut them out.
You know what? Vasel's coming back. I'm taking it back. I'm going with a
2-1.
2-1 loss. 2-1 loss, yeah. Vasel gets on the score sheet.
Message retracted. ¿Qué pasó? Oh, the club got to Abel, bro. I mean, the club got to Papi Chavo.
Oh, no. They're taking down banners and comments.
He got blow jarred. He got.
Sorry, Papi Chavo. They're censoring you on the game
They
at the
got you,
stadium
bro.
and
They
at the
got you.
chat, dude. Oh, no.
Oh, spelling errors. Okay. They got to him too. Now he's making excuses.
Oh, come on, Papi
Adrian
Chavo.
would never. Adrian would never.
Papi Chavo, just an asterisk, and you would have kept the poster up.
That's all it takes.
I'm sorry, man.
That's all it takes. It was unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, are you going to be at that game
Let's
Monday night?
fucking go, San Diego.
Yes, I am. Oh.
You're on timeout now.
Time out. Yeah, I'll be getting back from the San Francisco area on Sunday, and I will be
Ew.
at the game on Monday night.
San Francisco. I'm sorry.
I'm off at 4:30 p.m., so I'll be there on Monday night. Oh, wait, so are we recording on Tuesday then?
Shit.
Are we going live next to the Locals podcast? Are we not going live?
Welcome to the Loyal Locals podcast.
Hey, San Diego Loyal, can we do a live podcast after the game?
No.
That's too late.
No.
Way too late.
No. Would you want to do it after the match?
No, that's too late.
I don't know.
Because it ends at 9, press conference 9:30, and then to record after.
For what? For press conference of like, I liked our performance, but we had some chances. We need to be more clinical, and we'll get them next time, boys.
I'll take good performances over results.
Any day, any day.
With great performances, the results will come in.
Sure.
We need new answers from London. Oh, that's why this last game was new answers.
New questions, new answers.
Little couple F-bombs here and there.
Love it.
Broadcast the game? We can't,
We
dude.
cannot broadcast the game. I would love to do that.
I'm sorry, dude. If they don't let a banner be up there, and you think they're going to let us broadcast the game? Oh, man.
Right. Well, Alan, anything else for San Diego Loyals? I'll call them Loyals because they played like San Diego Loyals, not San Diego Loyal. Like San Diego Loyal off Wish.
I mean, no. Congratulations to the Jamaica women's national team for making the next World Cup.
Woo! So it's
The U.S. won 1-0
The
over
U.S.
Mexico.
won 1-0. That Mexico is not going to
Mexico's not going to be in the Women's World Cup
not
next
going to
year.
be in the Women's World Cup. Not going to be in the. Oh man, it's not.
It's not looking good for Mexico in general, soccer-wise. Yeah, they got no points in that, so... Yeah,
See?
Jamaica qualified.
Oh man!
So it's going to be the U.S.,
This is
Jamaica,
bad,
Canada,
guys.
and Costa Rica.
Happy Chavo. Only Landon can say the F word. He couldn't even say the word. They're getting to him.
Yeah. Oh, don't censor Papi Chavo.
Man, I got to him. Too late. Well,
R.I.P.
Alan, before
Yep.
they censor you, I would hate for them to do that and I have
Yeah,
nothing.
I mean, we got another game in 7 days, so
7 days.
Yeah, we'll figure out when we do the episode for next week then.
sounds great.
We'll let you guys all know as well for that one. Alan, always a pleasure to have you on here. And hopefully next episode we get to be more positive about San Diego Loyal with the win.
Ooh.
Proton positive.
Love you guys.
Laters, man. Ah, man. Pinche Loyals.
Ese pinche
They don't even deserve 2 balls ilegal.
Ese pinche Alan, güey. Está cabrón. También sácale
Gotta clean up your beard like him.
No, también sácale punto a ese vato. También tripeado ese güey. Ese vato no es el Alan que yo conozco, vato.
Oh, no.
Yeah, everything is coming down from Mexico. It sucks.
También las morras valieron madre.
Valieron madre, valieron padre, valieron todo. So
Valieron padre.
you like that, didn't you?
Like that.
So San Diego Wave, another San Diego team that lost against the LA team, loses against Angel City, 2-1. This is what I like. Not a lot I would have liked to see, but San Diego Wave only loses 2-1 after also after playing 11 against 10, and they were the 11. They somehow
Yes.
lost. So not a good look, actually. So.
Yeah, so
¿Qué
this
pasó?
game
¿Qué
this
pasó?
game started out very slow.
Yes.
Yeah, so the starting lineup, you have Carly Telford, the backup goalkeeper, Abby Dalkemper back again, back-to-back starts for her. Captain Armband, Kylie Real joining her at center back, Tegan McGrady at left back, Westphal. That back line is solidified, right? It only gets better with Naomi Girma on there. You got Kristen McNabb and Van Egmond joining in that center mid position. Up top, you have Doniak, Breedy, and Kelsey Turnbow and Shimmer. Like, wings, they rotate a lot.
Everybody's taken care of.
It's a solid lineup, and it's a lineup that got them the win back at home last week. So this was going to be a tough game. Casey Stoney had already said that, right? It's going to be tough. Angel City has really good players. Angel City starts out the game going up 1-0 with if you want to analyze this goal, it went through her legs from an angle that shouldn't have gone. Yes, no Alex Morgan in this game. Again, still no Alex Morgan, no Taylor Korniak, Naomi Girma, Sofia Jacobson,
Pretty
and
important
Sheridan.
players.
So 5 starters, essentially.
Yeah. So for this goal, San Diego Wave, essentially, played against a good team. No more Kristen Pressa as well for
Torn ACL.
torn ACL. But then you see this ball that goes right through the legs of the backup goalkeeper, right there.
¿Dónde la cagó? Where did she mess up?
Her legs are just positioned in the weird angle. I think she dove a little too early.
This goes on her 100%, right?
Yeah, no, it's on her. Like, she could have done much better. It's a tough, it's one of the goals that suck the most because it's right between your legs, and she knows it too.
I hope she knows it, because that mistake should not happen again.
Or it went right through her legs, or just like the commentator said.
Didn't he say pie hole? Five hole.
You know what that means, right?
I do not.
So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes.
You know what? That is an excellent take. And before the podcast started, you told me, I have a hot take. Do you want to say that hot take? Because this is a great one.
Oh, shit, what is it?
You don't remember?
No.
Tony told me before that, and
Oh,
I
yes.
agree.
Yes.
Say it.
Yes, that the
Because you're 100% right on that.
commentary team for women's soccer in the United States is way ahead of men's commentary teams. Like, you either have the guy that's a color commentator that doesn't know the sport but is good at the job, and then you have the expert who is on the side, the number 2. Here, it seems like they're complementing each other, and they're not trying and pretending to be like the
Shit,
people
I
over
learned
in
something
England.
right now. The 5 hole. I didn't know that.
Yeah, see?
Look at that.
There's intellect. There's intel that you miss when listening to the. Oh, no video. Oh, what's going on, boy? Oh.
No video.
I
What
got you,
happened?
boys. Let's do this again. Let's run it back.
Oh,
Let's run
okay.
it back. Let's run it back, homie.
Were they saying they couldn't see the video of the goal?
No.
Oh, okay. That's on Tony then.
That's definitely on me. So the ball goes
And you
there,
can see it on that one.
And yeah, we can see it double. Para que vean, para que se callen. Son dos. Through
Through
the
the 5
5 hole. Right there.
That's a great take, and it's on the goalkeeper. That mistake 100% shouldn't have
That ball doesn't go in if it's Sheridan.
No, 100.
That
Yeah,
ball does not go in if
100%.
it's Sheridan.
100% it does not go in.
Uh,
And just I mean, again, we have to be critical when they play like shit, and they played like shit in this game.
Katie Johnson, the Mexican national who doesn't speak Spanish, comes onto the field. She's not part of the... She doesn't.
You don't have to call that out, but that's funny.
I mean, yeah.
It's true. It's all
She doesn't.
facts,
From
not
what
opinions.
I've been told, because I actually asked for an interview. And they're
And
like,
she doesn't
"Oh."
speak Spanish. She doesn't.
I mean, she does.
She
but
doesn't like
it's
it.
like Austin Guerrero. Rest in peace career.
Very
apparently.
Posho-like.
Apparently. Hopefully not. Te quiero, Austin.
Very no Sabo-like.
No Sabo. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
can
well,
you see
she
it?
Sabo how to take on players.
Yeah, so Katie Johnson
this.
gets the ball right here off of a bounce.
pow, pow.
I don't know what 29 is doing. She's allergic to the ball. After the ball goes here, it's like, all right, Katie Johnson with the ball. I'll just move out of the way for you. Moves between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A really good through ball.
That's a
And,
very lucky pass too, though.
yeah.
Goes through the legs and nobody reaches it, and McNabb again gets the finish. It goes in. I feel like the goalkeeper for Angel City just maybe
she
could have
gave
stopped that
up.
as well.
Yeah. She dove a little bit too early, but this is a really good pass.
Wow, that
and
center back
ball.
almost got that ball.
Almost got it, but you know what? Katie Johnson and her no Sabo ways. I should really stop saying that. Gets the ball through a couple of defenders. It's a really good pass. It's a really good play. Tying the game into a 2-2. Unfortunately, later on in the match, San Diego, LAFC, Angel City.
Dude, what the fuck's happening to you right now?
dude. Te dije.
Oh, este güey está zafado ahorita. He got a new job promotion and he's been working really hard and it's stressing him, guys. Sorry for Tony's mistakes.
Crashing.
Yeah, this was a great save.
That was a great save. That was actually named the save of the game.
Yeah.
A packed stadium. It was pretty nice to see.
Yeah, the
Shannon
players were all
McMillan.
very excited about the atmosphere.
Shannon
We'll
McMillan's
see
really
later.
excited about her Angel FC team.
Oh,
No, she
yeah.
was. Like, she really,
Yeah.
like, genuinely was.
Yeah. That's very funny how she's part of San Diego Loyal, but she's part of Angel City.
Yeah. And so it was a
It was a
good
second
match.
yellow. It was a second yellow card. She got the red card. Well deserved.
Hey, I appreciate this technology that they're doing with when they roll up the sleeves. They should do that in all sports, honestly. In men's soccer, everybody's soccer.
You're a believer of rolling up your sleeves. You roll up your sleeves anywhere.
I love the sleeves rolled up.
The gummies kicked in. Ow.
None of such. AFC, Andrew Carlton, FC. Oh, no. Hey, tranquilo, viejo. Unfortunately, Craig can't announce everything. I agree. The No Sabo. Agreed.
All kinds of no sabos.
All kinds. Oh, no.
But yeah,
kinds.
so very interesting. 3 minutes after Angel City gets a red card, something happens, Tony. San Diego Loyal kind of forget. San Diego Wave.
Oh, ¿qué te está pasando, vato?
The gummies kicked in. San Diego Wave kind of maybe forgot how to defend, and they let a through ball go very badly.
Yeah, through everybody. And not
Which, by the way, the goalkeeper messed up here.
Yeah, she did mess up.
And the attacker messed up even more, though. But then you have the goal here. Tegan McGrady just... She has to fall in because the players are shifting. But then whoever's playing on that left wing needed to be back there, too. Because, look, you see your center back shifting here.
Yeah.
And then she has to kind of close in as well. And then nobody covered her. So it was a lot of miscommunication there.
Sydney LaRue wanted to do that turn. It ended up being an assist.
It was lucky.
It was very lucky. But eventually, they used that momentum to go up 2-1.
Yes, wave pool loyal. That's exactly what happened.
Who said that? ¿Qué
6-1 soccer.
Qué maldito genio.
Thank you. 6-1. That was great.
Genio. This is
San Diego Wave pool day. San Diego Loyal.
Damn, boys. Oh, boys. Yeah, so San Diego Wave losing to Angel City. Obviously, they don't have all the stars and everything, but the stars will be aligning soon.
They play on Friday.
Snapdragon, actually. But yeah, so they do play on Friday. The standings so far look like so. San Diego Wave still up top, 21 points.
Unlike Loyal.
20 points and 18 points for second and third. That's Chicago Red Stars and the Portland Thorns. OL Reign down there too. I mean, it's still anybody's game. Let me see. How many games are left? Because this...
there is 10 games left for San Diego Wave, I believe. There's 22 or 24 games. 6-1 soccer, correct me. Is it 22 or 24 in the NWSL season? I want to say it's 22.
Dallas Morgan and others gone. There's no high-end talent to bail them out. I can see that, but they do have a really good squad.
Confirming, 22.
It's just not gelling right now because they did win the game before, so it's still a pretty solid team, but definitely a much better team when you add Alex Morgan. And
she comes back for the August 7th
Horniak.
game, I believe, which is against Kansas City, and that's at home. It's going to be a 2 p.m. game. Not looking forward to 2 p.m. games, honestly, but it's kind of nice. So the virtual press conference, you know how they zoom in when the person's talking? They didn't do that for this one.
you could have just cropped it. It's fine.
Too late now.
To know what to say, to be honest. Really proud of I don't think we started the first half well. We looked nervy. They score. I'm really proud of our second half start. I thought we got back in the game.
I like being the only one with my camera on.
Power move.
But then they go down to 10 and we didn't take our chances, and then you can't defend like we did on the goal. We switched off. And we'd already had a warning previous to that. So, it was defensively not very good from us. So you can't defend like that and expect to get points. But like I said, I never fault my players' effort. They did everything to try and get 3 points. We didn't take our chances and we didn't defend well in key moments. So that's why we lost the game.
All right, Coach. Next time you play against Angel City will be in a new stadium. Do you think this result maybe adds to that motivation with your players to play them again and try to get the 3 points in the next meeting against them?
Yeah, I think this should add motivation for Friday, let alone the next game against them.
I love her clapbacks. I love her clapbacks so much.
We need to be hungry.
I love her clapbacks. She said, yeah, no, they better get their shit together for Friday.
Oh, man, that was great. Here, I want to hear that again.
To play them again and try to get the 3 points in the next meeting against them?
Yeah, I think they should add motivation for Friday, let
Cállate, Chiva. You jumping a step, homie.
alone the next game against them, because we've just lost. You know, we need to bounce back. We need to be hungry to put it right on the training field and make sure we go out and put a performance in on Friday to get a result in front of our home fans. So, yeah, absolutely. Listen, they're a good side. I said that before the game. They're a good side. They brought players on that impacted the game too. I thought Simone Charlie made a difference when she came on. Claire Emsley made a difference when she came on. So, yeah, they're a good side. You know, we were. Having said that, we weren't at our best tonight and probably should have still took points.
Thank you.
Yeah, obviously,
My camera's on.
I turned it off. I
amazing
felt awkward after.
atmosphere here. We knew what we had to
Casey's
expect
Tony, you know.
here. South Cal Derby. We were
I did not know that John Cena identified as a woman, as she's now sitting besides.
really excited. Obviously frustrating at the end. But I'm really proud of the team. You all gave 110% tonight.
Why?
And
'Cause you don't have a
we will
camera.
Definitely learn from that and try to go learn it too.
You mentioned the atmosphere at the bank. Do you feel like that adds any anticipation and excitement for when you all move to Snapdragon in September?
Yeah, for sure. Like the crowd in the Torero Stadium is already amazing. We always sold out, so we know that the even bigger stadium is going to be a huge crowd too, and we're just excited to have more people there, bigger stadium, obviously, and finally, playing in front of a bigger crowd and a pretty stadium.
Tranquilo, John.
Thank you.
Great. Yeah, I think it was tough giving up a goal in the first few minutes of the game, but and then I think that kind of took us for a loop. But I was so proud that we got a second goal, and I think that it was a fun atmosphere to play in. It was a different environment, and so we're ready to learn from this game and take those lessons into the next game and hopefully get 3 points coming up soon.
2 balls and a mic. You can start.
Oh,
I
thank
could
you.
start, yeah.
Hey,
Kelsey,
whoa.
obviously-
Well, if it isn't 2 balls and a mic himself. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, not the best result for the
Oh, not the best performance. Oh shit.
Kelsey. Obviously, not the best result for the team, but
I corrected
personally, you had a
myself.
pretty
It wasn't the
good
best performance either, though.
passes, and even a cross that ended up hitting the post. How do you feel your game has developed and improved from even the beginning and of the season, preseason, to where we're at right now?
Yeah, I think the transition from college to the NWSL is very notable. The speed of play, it's so much faster. The players are stronger, and so just having Challenge Cup to really get acclimated, and then game by game, I feel like I've kind of settled into the speed of play in the league in general, and I've been learning from the incredible players around me, and so a combination of those two things has really helped me just kind of settle in and contribute more to the success of the team.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chiva.
Of course. Got to miss a paliza de loyo to watch this game.
I was just slept in, had I known. Well, all right, boy.
But their next game is on Friday, here at home at 7 p.m. this Friday against Racing Louisville. Louisville, who is in 10th place out of 12. So based on this table, they should be a better team. They should win this game. I do think they win the game. Maybe like 2-0. They get a clean sheet.
Okay.
They get a clean
Ooh,
sheet.
a clean sheet. That'd be nice for La Sustituta. Interesting. They haven't.
What's her name?
Huh?
What's her name?
Interesting that they haven't put a graphic for
Telford, my guy.
this
Telford.
game. Friday Night Lights are here. Join us as we commemorate 50 years of Title IX. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I was looking for a picture. Anyway, so I mean, they're in a good position, San Diego Wave, but still, it was not a good weekend for soccer in San Diego. So,
Not at all.
moving on to
Quick recap of Liga MX of Chivas. Gonna go on a little rant.
take it away, Chiva.
Las pinches Chivas. Here we go. They played terrible, and they lost against San Luis, who could be considered one of the worst teams in the league, probably, besides Chivas, I guess. Alan Mosa's not starting, Tony, and he's like the star right back that you went out of your way and bought, and you're not starting him. Cadena's just sticking with Cisneros, who has gotten 2 yellow cards in the last 2 games. And then you play Alan Moso, and then you can see that the crosses of Alan Moso are just top tier. And the struggle with Chivas right now is they don't have a striker. Macias, that's Juarez. That's the first jornada, boy. Jornada 2. There you go. Macias tore his ACL or meniscus or something.
No puede ser. No.
What?
He tore his ACL.
Dude, he's out 9 months.
I know. I was like, no.
So you don't have a striker.
Tonito!
It's just Saldivar does not cut it for Chivas. He never will. And then you have the Jimenez, who's your starting goalkeeper now, and he's not terrible, but to be a starter, I'm not too sure. I think it's gonna be too much for him eventually. So they end up losing this game 1-0 against San Luis. They ended up getting scored a second one, and then VAR just took it away. But there's nothing, man. I wish they could go for Mudo from Santos, for Henry Martin from America, maybe. I know they're getting a striker supposedly from.
Not a lot of choices from good Mexican players, Shiva.
There's not. There's really not.
I don't know if you noticed.
No, there's not a lot of strikers at all, man. It's not looking good. And then that's pretty much what it is for Chivas. It's going to be a struggle this season for sure. If they keep losing games, I wouldn't be surprised if they just decide to get rid of Cadena right away. And we'll see what happens. Cholos is a different story. Soccer. Let's not talk about Cholos.
Oh, let's talk about Cholos.
Let's talk about Cholos. They're not Bruno. Talk about them. Cholos was a shit show on Friday. And they lost against Juarez 2-0, who Chivas tied 0-0 against. They ended up getting a red card in the 28th minute. And Cholos is just that business team that is just not going to succeed until they finish building that stadium, maybe. Right? And, yeah, they have the biggest screen in Latin America, Tony.
Yes, they do. Or did, actually. Now they have the second one, I think.
Oh, really? What's the biggest one?
I don't know.
We're still going to go out to a game, though, right?
I'm down.
Chivas play them here this season on a Wednesday.
Oh, a la madre.
Yeah, so Liga MX, guys, enjoy it. It's a long season, but it flies by.
I like your Liga MX recap as just Chivas, but I'll take it. Christina Brickenroad in La Femenil scoring a brace. She met Alex Morgan. Alex Morgan playing in Monterrey right now. I think... Yes. Me official is
I might go to Monterrey.
Gonna see your friend's friend or sister.
Yeah, me official number 10 for Tigres Femenil, and I might travel out there with her brother and another buddy of mine, and just stay at her place maybe, and just maybe get that interview with her in person, one-on-one.
I like that.
Get to meet other players from Tigres.
All kinds.
Be pretty cool.
All kinds. MLS, El Tráfico.
Tráfico.
Traffic, they're getting some players. Wayne Rooney now in the MLS.
What would it take for you to just actually get into MLS?
A team in San Diego.
A team in San Diego.
That's all it took for fucking USL. Yeah, that's low hanging. I mean,
team in San Diego.
That's all it takes. That's why I can't be an NFL fan for the Chargers. They're not a San Diego team. Sorry. The Clippers were here at some point. They didn't break my heart, so that's why I'm a Clippers fan. But yeah, we will definitely start talking some football coming
soon.
up soon, because we do have our very own fantasy league.
We have a lot of people asking about it, and we're going to allow probably 11 other people and do a 12-man league. And we'll keep you guys in the loop on how we decide who's going to be joining, since it is a lot of people that have been asking. So we probably won't do 2 separate leagues. That's too much work.
No, absolutely not.
We'll keep you guys in the loop for that. We'll start talking football soon as the season starts approaching.
The biggest screen in Latin America, but they can't even finish their damn stadium. Yep, that's
exactly
it.
Exactly.
Well,
I think that's where we're gonna wrap it up today.
Wrap it up. Make sure you wrap it up with some Trojans. Make sure that we're not, adding to this population overload that this beautiful Earth has. But in any case, shout out to Smog Express. Shout out to PB European Imports. If you need anything carb related, they got you. Shout out to Califino Tequila. Califino, two balls and a mic. 2 balls 20 is the is the promo code. But definitely check that out. 2 balls and a mic. Discount 20% off. Yeah. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you. Later, guys.